AI portal number 14. Today we're going to verify our data science environment by looking at some stocks and analyzing the stock charts here. Click on data science. We have Jupyter Lab here, and we're going to go over to another tab where we've got our 3 happy exhibits laid out here. We're going to close that. That's a surprise for next week. So let's look at Apple stocks for the previous year. We took this snapshot on February 22nd, 2025. Last close day was the 21st. We have the open price, the high, the low, the close price, and the volume for the day. We verify the data and get it out here. Apple closing price and trading volume 1 year. We write some code here, we do some code here, and we have this nice chart here that shows us the Apple closing price for 1 year. And we have our nice little marker there, and it's showing us that the price of Apple stock for each day of the year. Now, the important thing to know, even for as an experienced chart analyst here, to get into Apple stock here, we're going to need at least $200 a share. And so if we want to buy 100 shares, it's going to be a significant investment. So even if we look at the closing price, this chart here, it looks like Apple stock is obviously it's increasing in value, and it's also probably out of the price range for the mid-range investor, because at $200 a share, we're going to have to buy 100 shares. That's 20 grand there to get into the good game. But we can also look at the trading volume for the year. And each day, each one of these little red lines is the day's trades there. And on this particular day, it looks like September 20th, there was up to 300 million shares, or over 300 million shares were traded that day. So we have basic data graphing functionality for data science. We can explain these charts. There's a couple different charts. There's the close price here again, and it's juxtaposed against the 20-day simple moving average and the 30-day exponential moving average there. And we have the trend line here, which you may recall from a previous video, it's a linear regression. Lots of insights there. These are statistical charts. These are seasonal decomposition of the prices, and the data scientists will know this, but look at this trend line here. This is actually somewhat the inverse of what we saw up above. It was increasing, and now it's decreasing. This is because this particular data set is reading the data in reverse. So we're getting the most recent data first, and it goes to the right here to the least. Lots of fun in here. Now we have the moving averages. We also have this big purple thing called the Bollinger Band. And Mr. Bollinger is still alive, and he wrote a nice story on his webpage to give a plug and shout to him. A lot of money to be made using just these charts there. I used to use them, and I'm using them again today. Here's the MACD indicator, which is another indicator. Lots of study there for you guys. So we can visualize data sets in our data science lab here. Now let's go over here to the ARIMA 2 model. Now ARIMA stands for Autoregressive Integrated Moving Average, and we saw some moving averages over here. The 20-day exponential moving average and the 20-day simple moving average. So in our autoregressive integrated moving average, we have some code. We use the sklearn and the stats model to generate this there. But here we fed in the Apple data from about October of last year up until the 21st, and we ask it to predict what the future price is going to be. And we have what we call the training data from which the model learns, and then we have its forecasts, and then we have the actual forecast, and they're juxtaposed here. So we have something, it continues to grow, but it's kind of flat, kind of average. And that's not exactly what we want. But it could be that this is the correct answer, because the key here is this mean absolute error. When you use this in machine learning, this is a statistical model. It's not a machine learning model. And the p-value is very important here. But what the thing with ARIMA are these 3 settings, the P, the D, and the Q. And we can look at the ACS and the PACS to see if we're getting the right Q. We use the ACF test, and the right P is the PACS test. But here what we need to do is to use ARIMA, so PD and Q are found via grid search. Now, we ran into a technical glitch with Python 3.13, which just been out for 2 months, and the NumPy library is not integrated with it. And so rather than go back to a previous version of Python, we decided that we would try the Prophet model, PROPHET, put out by Meta, and give its ARIMA model a try. And so we use the same data set and the same distance. So these little black dots are the trading days and the price of Apple stock at close. And so you see they're pretty close together. There's 5 little dots. There's a weekend, 5 little dots. And this is what it's calculating all the way through. Now, somehow here, in its there's no more black dots, and there's a glitch in this here. And somehow it projects the price dropping not only to 0, but to negative $100. And then it comes back. So we can make some adjustments here. We look at the data. We make some adjustments here, and it doesn't drop completely down so much. But this is still not right. There's something wrong with the model we have to look at. So the absolute mean here is 14, and back on our ARIMA 2, our absolute mean comes out at 5.26. So the smaller the absolute mean error, the better our model is. So this is done. Let's go over here to portal deployment tasks. Let's just bring ourselves up to speed. Implement the portal infrastructure, define users, create user layouts, integrate the framework, connect the LLM API, set up the RAG, configure security and data. Let's check all this off. We've done this in previous videos. Implement the vector store, install Chroma, configure the environment, validate. And a couple of these actually overlap with previous tasks. But what we've done today here is set up the data science environment. Install Python Jupyter Notebook, it's done. Set up data science libraries, done. Test the data science environment with stock analysis. We saw several graphs. They read the data just right. Set up the time series environment, the stats model, sklearn. We saw that. Test the ARIMA functionality with stock price forecast. We need to do some work with this model, but the environment is there. Configure data storage. We set up a database a couple of weeks ago, and we were doing computer graphics with that. Visualization libraries are set up, sample dashboards and charts. We have the charts there. We can work on the dashboard. Optimize tools for interactive visualizations. We're well on our way. Thanks for your time.